Here's the most talked about guy, certainly post NFC Championship game. And with all due respect to Peyton Manning, he may be the king of the media in New York. Richard Sherman, he's dominated the headlines, and he and Michael Crabtree were mic'd up on Sunday. Here's a listen.
Corner of the game. When you try me with a third receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get.
All right, Larry and I had a good go about it the other day. I honestly think he's, and I know the term, Larry hates this, but I think he's playing everybody. You know what I mean? Like, hey, go ahead. I'm going to put myself out there. You're going to have to pay attention. I'm going to get endorsements, and if I win the game, I'm king. Do you think it's an act? What he's doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know that his reaction right after the game with Aaron Andrews was an act. That was what he was really feeling. That said, he said the same thing in a pre-production meeting to Joe Buck and those guys, so they knew he was feeling that way coming in. He basically just repeated it with emotion. Keep in mind, he's the only guy among the top 15 jerseys. He's the only defensive player with a top 15 jersey sale. So is there method behind the madness? There's no doubt about that.
Is he on the cover of Sports Illustrated, Larry, if he doesn't go off?
Probably not. That's a great point. But you know, I think this. That, you know, they got so close to the field, and you need to have that cocky arrogance to play the corner in the NFL against the world's greatest athletes. And they just got a little close, and you got an authentic view. But I didn't have a problem with any of that right there. It's a little classless. It's not that humble. It's not that gracious. But deep down, there's nothing really wrong with anything he said.
Ultimately, if you mic'd up all these guys, you'd hear a lot more of that than the Tom Brady win with graciousness. Okay. They're just, guys don't talk that way.
Win with graciousness, but I'm such a sore loser, I won't watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and by the way, Ref, you blew that call.
And in fact, that's a week after we had Tom's dad up here, and I give him a shot. All right. Anyway, Cara, how about some feedback from our viewers on Richard Sherman?
You know, our viewers seem to think it was pretty darn entertaining, like this comment right here. I agree it's wrong. Sherman was in the heat of competition, and I found it entertaining, and I'm a 49ers fan. Or we go to our next comment. Sherman is a media genius, in my opinion. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he will get paid well because of it. But I'm still a Niner fan until I'm dead and cold. If I've learned anything this week, it's that you can still be ignorant and have a Stanford education. And finally, this isn't a fun, nice game. This is an all-out battle for self, team, city, career. Just because he went to Stanford and just because he makes millions of dollars doesn't mean he has to act some kind of way.
Well, that's good stuff, Cara.
Yeah.
That was really good. You know, in the last couple of days, though, Sherman let everybody know, and rightfully so, that there are people, and even at our level, we get people in their basement get upset about things and want to tweet, you're the worst, you should jump off the bridge, all that stuff. Do you think in a funny way, though, this makes him a sympathetic figure that has been released? All these racial tweets have been coming his way.
Anytime the pendulum swings too far one way, it's going to come back the other way. And I'll be honest, I think he's walked it back in the perfect way. If he had come back and said, you know, I didn't really mean those things about Michael Crabtree, I'd think less of him. He hasn't walked off of that. He hasn't backed off of that. What he said is, you know what, the timing was bad. I took the focus off my team and the success that we had in that game, and I wish that I hadn't done that. The way he's handled it, compare it to, say, Chris Culliver as the distraction last year for the 49ers. For me, Richard Sherman has done a much better job in this case.
I'll say this very pleasantly. Chris Culliver, nobody cares.
Yeah, well,
I mean, people cared what he said.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about
his
when you're
status in the game.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, Richard Sherman's far more savvy than Chris Culliver.
Exactly, that's my point. And he's demonstrated that.
It comes across. It's unfortunate too that the feedback turns into a racial thing, because that's just kind of reveals the ugliness of society.
But it's the whole, it's the thug word. He was described as a thug 640 times on TV in the following 24 hours. Now, whatever he did, he was loud, he was brash, he was black. That doesn't automatically say he's a thug. That's where I think the racist tinge came in, unfortunately. Ultimately, though, I see it as a good thing, because it's gotten a lot of people talking and thinking about how you use words and how we need to be a little more careful.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and I will tell you, I once sent out a tweet about you. I said you were too good looking for radio.
You have never sent out a tweet.
He's constantly tweeting.
I actually have friends.
No, you're one. I hear you. I know you have friends. You're one of those lurkers. You're just checking things out. That's exactly it.
He goes around liking everybody.
Yeah.
Just click